Chapter 8, Tamu. Slow down, I yelled at Tamu as she zoomed through traffic, dodging and darting between trucks and cars. I had been confined for 3 years and had lived practically at standstill, moving from place to place inside the institution only by foot. Even then, my stroll was slow and cool, with an obvious sway of gang culture. But now here I was, stuffed into the back seat of this red Toyota Tercel with Tamu and Mom sitting up front, chatting away, flying along the Pomona Freeway, headed for Los Angeles. "Tamu, did you hear me? Slow this damn thing down," I shouted, holding the back seat for leverage. "Babe," she said, almost turning completely around in her seat. "Don't turn around, watch the road. I'm only doing 55 is the regular speed limit." "Why it seem like we doing 200 then? Cause you ain't been in no car in years, babes. I ain't gonna never make it home, you keep driving like this." "Oh boy, relax," Mom said. "You picked a fine time to be scared of something." "I ain't scared, I just..." Yeah, Tamu said, giving Mom a "we really know" look. I tried to relax, but I couldn't shake the excitement of being out. The last thing I wanted was to crash on the way home and fail the mission of coming back. Besides, this damn Toyota was awfully small for me. I was huge, muscles bulging from everywhere. Tamu and I kept making eye contact in the mirror, both our gazes dripping with lust. What would it be like to be with her again, I wondered. Even that seemed a bit frightening. Cars zoomed past, irate drivers flipping "fuck you" signs in our direction. I looked over Tamu's shoulder at the speedometer, 55 miles per hour. She had slowed down, but still we seemed to be moving at an alarming pace. Of all things to die from, I didn't want to go out in a traffic accident. We swooped through downtown and up and over into South Central. It was dark and the sun lay somewhere out beyond Venice Beach, slipping into the water and bringing the deadly night to Los Angeles. To my right, I saw the lights of the Goodyear blimp hovering over the Coliseum. Perhaps there was some function there. It always amazed me to see that huge football-shaped airship floating effortlessly through the air, displaying an unspoken piece of non-gravitational bliss. Over to my left, I saw 2 helicopters dipping, dodging, and cutting through the air in violent twists that telegraphed their aerial pursuit of someone. One helicopter was labeled police, the other sheriff. Peace in the air to my right and war above me to my left. Good old South Central, nothing really changed. When we got to Normandy, I started reading the walls. The brims, it seemed, had resurfaced with a little force. Once we passed Gage and moved into our hood, the writing became more pronounced, more violently scrawled on things. No doubt the sign of a neighborhood at war. Graffiti, although mainly used for advertising, can also function as messages to enemies, evil spirits, that this territory is protected and it's not like we didn't give you fair warning. "Beware of 8 trays" was written in several places along Normandy Avenue. I found that amusing. Turning onto 69th Street, I felt a pang of nostalgia for the block, my stomping grounds, my space. As we pulled into the driveway, I felt a stab of pain and a sense of loss. None of the homies from my combat unit was there, no one. Although there were at least 12 people from the set, there were not one of my clique. Although there were at least 12 people from the set, they were not one of my clique. Trey Ball was dead, Crazy D was in prison, and Diamond, who I had seen go home from YTS, was already back in for murder. Trey Stone was dead, and my little brother was still in youth authority. But I did see Joker and little Crazy D, which made it a bit easier to deal with the group. A few people I didn't know at all. When Mom opened her car door, a horde of homies rushed up to help her out. Someone held the front seat up so I could lumber out of the constricting back seat. Once I had gotten out and stood to my full height, the comments from the homies fell from everywhere. "Goddamn, cuz, you swole like a motherfucker." "Damn, check this ninja out. Cuz arms as big as my head. What they feeding you, monster weights?" I stayed out front for a while, answering some of their questions and asking some of my own. Once this grew tiresome, I shifted and asked to speak to Lil Crazy D and Joker alone. We went into the backyard and left the others to mingle out front. Cuz, I began, I need a gat. Yeah, responded Joker, we got some shit for you. Right. So what's up with them ninjas across the way? Y'all been dropping bodies or what? Oh, ninja, I thought you knew, said Lil Crazy D. Tell him, Joker. Monster, we caught this fool the other night in the hood, writing on the wall. Cuz, in the hood. Can you believe that shit? Anyway, we roll up on that boy and ask him, yo, what the fuck you doing? Boy breaks and runs. I cut his ass down with the 30-06 with the infrared scope, interrupted Lil D. Aw, monster, I fucked up, cuz. He was like all squirming and shit, suffering stuff, so I put this, Joker said, pulling out a Colt 45 from his waistband, and kaboom, to the brain, you know. Couldn't stand to see that bitch-made motherfucker suffering and shit. Who was he? I asked. Shit, we ain't heard yet. But he was probably one of their baby locs, cause he looked young, you know. Have they rolled back? Nah, not that we know of. Most of their shooters in jail like ours. Who killed Opie? Word is that sissy Kody Ch did. Anyway, cuz in jail for it. Oh, but D, tell cuz how we two shit up for Opie, said Joker excitedly. Oh, cuz we shot so many. Cuz I need a gat, I said, trying to insinuate to Lil D that I wasn't really interested in his war stories. Don't sweat it, big homie. We got some shit for you, cuz. Anyway, Lil D tried to continue. When y'all get that gat for me, come back. But like right now, I want some pussy and some food. Now, if either one of y'all got some of that, I'll stay back here with you. But if not, I'm going in the pad to get some, I said, smiling. Oh man, fuck you, cuz. We gone. Oh, but monster, we be back in 3 minutes, alright? Joker said over his shoulder. Yeah. But if I ain't here, then leave the gat in them bushes right there, okay? All day, righteous. I went in the house through the back door and made my way through the kitchen. I watched as Joker and Lil D told the other homies that I'd be out later. The small crowd went one way and Joker and Lil D went the other. Joker had the big 45 in his waistband, so I didn't really worry about them in the street. I had brought a collection of my best tapes home. Jimmy Reed, Otis Redding, the Temprees, Barbara Mason, and Sam Cooke. I went into the den and put on Jimmy Reed. When it came out over the speaker, it sounded foreign to me. I couldn't rightly put my finger on it, but I knew that I wasn't going to be listening to too much Jimmy Reed out here. When I came back into the living room, Tamu was sitting there looking through my photo album. I sat next to her and played with her hair. Kody, let's leave. Let's go and be alone, she said, never taking her eyes off the photo album. Alright, but let me eat something. I want to take you to dinner. I know a nice little place you like. Okay, let me tell Mom we're leaving. She already knows, Tamu said, looking up at me seductively. Well, what is this, conspiracy? No, babes, just natural instincts. And what about this? I said and fell hard upon her, crushing the photo album between us. This is called smashing your girlfriend. And this, I kissed her full lips on mine, my tongue darting in and out of her mouth. That, she said between kisses, is called animal instinct. Well, call me king of the junk, Kody, Mom interrupted, appearing in the doorway. I stammered, struggling to get out Tamu. I'm going to lie down. If you leave, lock the house up, okay? Yeah, sure, Mom. I had been so used to our natural response to okay, meaning 60-90 killer, which would be all day, that it just came out. Mom looked at me, then turned down the hallway. Let's go, I told Tamu, and we left. She took me to a small restaurant on Crenshaw Boulevard called Aunt Fish. We could sit in the window and look across Crenshaw and watch the DJ spin records at Stevie Wonder's radio station, KGLH. We ordered jumbo shrimp and red snapper.